Hey everybody, we're back for another draft video today. Uh, I've been a little bit on a salt trail recently. I O2'd the ETS and then just been a long weekend of losing. So hopefully today goes better. Although I'm not at this point expecting it to. The last couple weeks has been fall break for my kids and I, so we've all been going a little bit stir crazy. So, but anyway, enough about me. Let's draft. Becky is amazing. We've also got a foil Minotaur Lighthoof. Becky's obviously the 6/4 double time 5 cost that lets you draw a card if you gain life in a turn. Otherwise, we have, like I said, we have the Lighthoof, which I do not like Shadow much at all. Then we have a solid fire 4-drop in Thunderhoof Warrior, and a totally fine playable in Justice, the High Branch Sentry. Let's take the Beckoning Lumen. Ooh, it's tempting to follow this up with an Extract. Someone took the rare, so it doesn't really tell us much about this pack. I think for right now, I want to go ahead and stay with just an Awakened Sentinel and try not to get pulled into Xenon. If it becomes like, if it's obvious that it's super available to us, we'll take it. But I like Sand Viper or Humbug Swarm here. I think I like Swarm a little bit more, but it does cost 5, whereas the Viper costs 2. So if you draw this, you're likely to be able to cast it. So let's go with the Viper. We also already had 2 5-drops, so it does look like some of the Xenon parts are open. We've got the Cabal Slasher and the Umbran Thirster, which are both just like meh Xenon cards. We could also just take a Xenon Stranger, or we could take another 5-cost time drop. I think we're gonna take the Xenon Stranger. Cabal Bludgeoner. It's also a Mortar here. That's very odd. We're not in either of those colors. There's also a Granite Ring, which I like. For me, it's between Cabal Bludgeoner and Mortar. I think there's enough upside. This is a 4-mana 3/3 now, which is so much better than it was before. Like even if we never managed to get any weapon synergies, it's still just a fine what we call Hill Giant, which is named after the famous magic card, or eponymous magic card, or whatever the correct word is. But we'll take it here. Yeah, it really does look like Life Force is open, which is sad. I think I really love Victor's Cry. That is a very late Victor's Cry, but there's also a fine playable here in Familiar. It's actually very good, especially if we end up kind of top heavy. So we'll take that. So this could be a Combre deck. There was quite a bit of green. I don't like Stalwart Silverwing. That's more of like an Argenport with a sacrifice theme. That's where that belongs. I do like Fallen Oni. I think it's actually a very good card. Maybe very good is overselling it. I think it's playable. Most people don't think that. We can also take it. I don't think at this point we're moving into Huru or splashing it. So it's between the Silverwing and the Oni, and I think we're gonna take the Oni for now. Although we don't want that to like color our picks. We're gonna hide it. Sandstorm easy here. If we do end up Xenon, Sandstorm is like one of the few ways to deal with flyers. Here I don't mind Rabble Rouser at all. Let's take it. Sure, Voyaging Lumen. I'll take a Kopesh and a Trail Runner. Well, it seems like Time is open, but Time is always open. Oh man, do we take the Umbran Reaper? We have to, right? I wonder what the the win rate is on that from the draft project. Let me check that real fast. It's not very good, strangely enough. It's appeared 13 times, has a 57% win rate, and only like a 30% chance of getting to 6 or 7 wins. Wonder if that's because of its triple shadow cost, or because shadow is bad, or alright, well that at least helps inform us. Whereas Amber Acolyte, its win rate is like insane. There were a lot more silence effects added to the game with Omens. And we saw a few shadow signals, but not as strong as the green signals. But this is such a strong card. What are we? We're missing out on the Amber Acolyte. Inspire is fine. It's not that inspiring. Yeah, I think we err on the side of Umbran Reaper here. Okay, well we could pick up a Pillar of Amar or a Xenon Destroyer. I'm gonna forget about the fact that we have life gain synergies for a moment, and if we do take Xenon Destroyer, it's gonna be solely due to our curve. We have no real way to ramp, and we've got a ton of late game already. So let's go ahead and take. There's also a Stone Scar Magus, which is actually very good. But again, for the curve, we're going to take Xenon Destroyer. Although Pillar is very, very, very good. I lose to that card more than I like to admit. Scorpion Wasp is insane. Now we have to choose which path to take. Again, it looks like just Justice is open. This is going to be a Combre deck. We can't splash like the Reaper. It's got triple shadow. So between the Awakened Student and the Bright Maze Paladin, I actually think these are pretty close. I know that might sound like heresy, but the being able to Bright Maze Paladin with any kind of buff just changed the race so much. I mean, unless you can give Awakened Student some kind of evasion, it's just a big beat stick that can be chump blocked all day. Could also take the Combre banner and just sort of hedge. But I think if we're going to move in, it's now. So, Awakened Student. Even though I just talked so much about the Paladin. And here we have nothing. I am going to take this Initiate. Because we, like I said before, we do have a bunch of expensive cards that we could use to ramp into. Warband Chieftain is very, very strong, and I can see us splashing if we end up in Xenon. Now the Justice is sort of disappearing. So here it's between Teleport and Blood Beetle, and I think we take the Blood Beetle. 2 drops, we have got 1, well, 1, I don't like Trail Runner. 2, only have 2. Let's take the Bold Adventurer. Deserter is very good. We're gonna take the Shiny Decay because it's shiny. It also has a very high win rate in draft. Well, higher than I thought it would be. Let's just say that. Let's look it up. It has a 65% win rate, and it's only appeared 4 times though, so that's a little suspect. But it gets to 7 wins 50% of the time. Let's just hide this Pyrodept and this Herald Song. All right, we need some help. Pack 3 to help us figure out what to do. We can just move all in and grab a Xenon Cupbearer and just have a blah Xenon deck. That's probably what we're gonna do. Although I like Roosting Owl. Oh man. Let's take the Cupbearer. I don't know how this happened. I specifically said let's not get pulled into Xenon, but oh well, it's that Umbran Reaper. That's what did it to us. Let's take the Sand Viper. Plated Goliath is great. So is Purify. We're already talking about maybe splashing red. But for now, let's just take the Goliath. I say for now, like there's going to be another chance to do anything. There's not. This is it. Probably the long shot marksman here. Could take the Thirster, but then we've got a metric ton of them. We could also take the Skycrack Stranger for the Warband Chieftain splash. It's probably better than the marksman. Let's do that. Well, we have some good Xenon cards here. We've got the Shorthorn, blistering Wasp, and then the cup bearer. I think we take the blistering Wasp. In here, we'll take the Archaeologist. It will help with our red splash. I would have liked to have taken that Xenon, whatever that card is, the one mana card where if you gain life, you make a unit equal to the life you've gained this turn. We'll take another Voyaging Lumen, I suppose. Well, Xenon, Mating Call. I always say that I don't pass Mating Call, but we're not playing it here. Let's take the Xenon Fanatic and pretend like we're gonna find ways to give him lifesteal. Inspire Obedience, sure. Ooh, man. Why did you all three have to be together here? I think we have enough of our top end. We've got 3 4-drops, one of which I'd be happy not to play. But we also have the Cabal Slasher, which is really good with the Xenon Destroyer. It's also easier to cast, doesn't have the double time requirement. Ooh, this is... I never thought I would be doing this often. Well, how many ways do we have to gain life, honestly? It's not 1, theoretically, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's take the Arachnodon. Almost got pulled into a trap there. Take the Talon, Dustbind. There's quite a few playable cards for us here. I really want to take the Scorpion Wasp. The Soul Collector is shiny though. It's also pretty good. This sort of gets out of hand in board stalls, where opponents can't attack profitably. Also an Amethyst Acolyte and a Xenon Guardian and a Refresh. You still only have 2, 3 drops. I think we just take the Wasp. It's very good. These are interesting choices that I haven't often had to face because I don't draft Xenon that often. But like, is Nightblade better in a deck with no weapons than Xenon Guardian? Probably not. But we are going to be stalling the board. And so is an unblockable unit as a clock better than an 8/8 that'll get triple blocked? I don't know. I don't know the answer to these questions. I think we take the Xenon Guardian. Oh my gosh. I guess we're in the right colors. It didn't really feel like it, but like a Scorpion Wasp, a Ranger, and a Dark Return. I'd really like to take the Dark Return for Umbran Reaper. Do we have any other synergies with it? Probably not going to play 2 Lumens. Well, the Vipers can get bigger. I'm not going to play Trail Runner. Obviously, the Xenon Destroyer gets better if it gets bigger. I'm not going to play the Bludgeoner either. We could like Xenon Guardian twice, so there's not like a ton of real synergy with it. Like 3 wasps, like who expects the 3rd wasp, right? Or we could take a ranger, which just can win games. I think the ranger got worse with the realization that fixing strangers are very good in a 3 or 4 color format. So then I'm sort of tempted to take the Dark Return. So I will. And look, we didn't even get punished. Not really. Another Dark Return versus a ranger. One, two, three, four, five, six 2-drops. Yeah, let's take the Dark Return. Let's take a Nightblade. Stone Scar Banner for our splash. Here it's between the Instinct and the Acolyte, and I think it's the Instinct because we grabbed those 2 Dark Returns. Dire Fang, Spider, or Tower Top Patrol. I'd say Tower Top Patrol all day. Sure, another Bold Adventurer that we probably won't play. Ooh, wow. So we could take the Excavate to get back things like Umbran Reaper, Warband Chieftain. And I think that might actually be the pick over the Towering Terrazon, which I know is crazy, right? But I think that is the pick. And the last pick, Lumen Shepherd. Well, time was certainly just wide open, right? I wish Decay just said kill an attachment. That would make it much better. At least sort of playable in like fringe situations where you can do some kind of trick to like blow up your own attachment to gain some life and affect the board in some way. But alas, that's not how they made it. I don't want to play Inspire Obedience, so we won't. I don't really want to play Blood Beetle. We have enough units. I don't want to play Initiate. I don't think. Probably make 4 cuts. 3 cuts, maybe. I can see cutting the Cupbearer. It doesn't really do a lot. Or cut. We could cut that Bold Adventure. I said that we probably wouldn't play. And I think we probably cut the Oni, as it's better in aggressive decks than it is here. I think we have to cut Decay. It's so situational. Although I do want to see it someday. See what it can do. Curve's looking a little heavy at 5. But I don't want to cut any of the 5-drops. They're all very good. Do we want to cut Voyaging Lumen? We don't have any like synergies with like pumping the whole board or sacrificing units. So that's, it might not do much here. Oh yeah, the Nightblade is going to be pretty good with the Warband if we can ever get that going. I think we cut this voyaging limb in. Alright, let's look at our power situation, if we have any banners. Yeah, that one. Okay. Let's go ahead and add our power here. We only want to play one fire source because we only have one fire card, right? And then we have 1, 2, 3 ways to find it. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 ways. Yeah, that's fine. 4 is fine. And we'll probably just go like that. That would be 8, 9 time 8, 9 shadow, 10 shadow if you count that. I think that's good. Alright, let's see how this goes.